Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kiru. Welcome to Kiru's Keys. So it has officially been 1 year since I graduated from Flatiron School. That is so crazy to say because I remember when I just applied and I was just hoping that I would get in. So to say that it's been 1 year since I've graduated, it feels amazing, and I'm so glad that I was able to accomplish that. In this video, I want to talk about the pros and cons of Flatiron School. So I'm going to get into the pros first. I'm going to talk about the cons. Then in the end, I'm going to speak about if I recommend Flatiron School to any future people out there who were contemplating joining this school. So I guess disclaimers would be that this is just my personal experience. Things have changed since I've graduated, so I don't know if things got better, if things got worse. So don't come blaming me if you chose Flatiron School, you don't like it, or if you didn't choose it and you regret it. Whatever the case is, this is just from my experience. So take that with your own discretion. The first pro was that Flatiron School has an amazing internal job board and connections with tech companies. They were able to give me a few different interviews with different companies simply off of, their relationship with these companies, and, the service, the connections that they have with these companies. So when you're looking for a job, that is so important. And for a bootcamp to be able to provide that, that's an amazing pro to have. Next pro was that I learned a lot. They taught me a lot. After graduating, I could really say that from where I was when I first began to that point of when I graduated, I would say that I couldn't have even imagined that I would have learned all of those things. So they did teach me a lot. Next, my personal instructor, she was great. Unfortunately, she no longer works there, but she was great. She was very attentive. She was very pleasant, and she was also very knowledgeable. Next, they have a huge alumni network, kind of tying into that first pro that I spoke about with them having connections with other companies. They also have a huge alumni network, so you can easily find alumni who graduated from Flatiron on LinkedIn and connect with them. Next pro would be that by the end of the program, I had 5 different personal projects completed. And out of those 5, I was able to put 3 on my resume. So I had concrete things that I could put on my resume in order for me to submit to apply for jobs. And the last pro that I can think of, and I'm sure there are many great things about this school, but the last one that came to my mind was that we do have career coaching after graduating. Whether you need resume help or you need direction on how to speak to people, or you just need someone to talk to when it comes to your job search, I thought it was really great that they did provide those services to the graduates. Now we're going to switch to the cons, the things that I didn't like about Flatiron School. So number 1, I know I just spoke about them offering a career coach. That was great. But even more important than a career coach, I think would have been a technical coach. After graduating, you had no more technical help. And I thought that was a major con because you are going to need help. What if you want to continue on with your personal projects? What if you had an interview and you didn't do so well in the interview and you kind of wanted to talk it over with someone and get some sort of advice on the different things you can learn? I thought the career help was cool, but it wasn't they were helping you find a job. They weren't submitting your resume anywhere. They weren't telling you where to apply for work. They were kind of just a person that you can speak to about your job searching process. And they were a person, that would help you kind of look over your job searching material. I would have appreciated a technical coach, someone that I could check in with weekly, even bi-weekly, to maybe practice some interviewing problems together with, to go over, coding questions that I had. Honestly felt like they kind of left me high and dry, to tell you the truth. I felt like they just threw me in the water and was like, figure out how to swim. So yeah, I would say that was a con, that they didn't provide any technical help or guidance after graduating. The second con was that the Flatiron School, they offered a money back guarantee, and basically the terms were, if you don't get a job within 6 months of graduating, you will receive 100% of your tuition back. The money back guarantee was cool, but the reason why I'm not putting it in a pro and I'm putting it in the cons is that it was difficult to get that money back guarantee. Within those 6 months, the most I would say was like you had to do a check-in every single week. And there were multiple things that you had to do. So it wasn't just like an easy thing. If you made any little mistake, or if you forgot any little detail, your money back guarantee was revoked. They give you one chance and one chance only. Let's say you were late, you forgot the due date, you forgot a requirement in your check-in, your money back guarantee was gone. There was no second chances. That was it. And like, I get it from a business standpoint, because at the end of the day, Flatiron School is a business. So from a business standpoint, I honestly feel like they knew that a lot of students wouldn't get a job within those 6 months, and they were not trying to pay out thousands, probably would come out to millions of dollars in tuition refunds to those students. So they made the guidelines really strict for that money back guarantee. I thought that was a con. The students should be held accountable. You shouldn't just give them the money back if they aren't putting in the work to get a job. But at the same time, like, you have to understand that, like, sometimes people make mistakes. I feel like you should give people grace, like, at least give them a second chance. Like, if you were 1 minute late, it's done. Like, next con has to do with the last con. The income share agreement and the money back guarantee has been discontinued. I think that is a major con, especially because that was one of the major reasons why I chose Flatiron School. So to know that my class was the last class that was eligible for that, I think that's pretty crazy. A lot of students aren't graduating from Flatiron School. Out of the students that are graduating from Flatiron School, a large amount of them are not getting a job within those 6 months. Allegedly. This is like all my opinion. So I believe that they took away the money back guarantee because they probably had to pay out too much money to these students. And, if that is the case, I feel like as a school, you guys have to step it up and do better and figure out why students aren't getting jobs within 6 months and work on that and hold yourself accountable instead of like just selling students dreams, I guess you could say. I don't know if that's why they got rid of the money back guarantee. That's just my opinion. But with the money back guarantee and the income share agreement, I did make a video on an income share agreement. I just really think that they made it really difficult for students to be able to afford that school. So even though I said that I ended up learning a lot after graduating from Flatiron School, that curriculum was recycled. And a lot of the labs and lessons, the date on them still had like 2015 on it. And mind you, I did this class in 2021. My camera just died. I got something to eat while it was charging, and now I'm back. So if the frame looks different, if I look a little different, that's why. But back to the pros and cons. Though Ruby is still a powerful, great language and a lot of companies use it, Python has surpassed Ruby in usage and popularity. And I really think that if the school was keeping their curriculum up to date, they would have transitioned to another language. I could be 100% wrong, but just my observations tells me that in 2015, they had a curriculum revamp. They used Ruby, and that curriculum from 2015 has just been recycled up until when I took the course, which was in 2021. Even though I did learn a lot, this was a con for me because I paid so much money. So I don't want to ever feel like I paid thousands of dollars for something that wasn't even cared for and it wasn't like up to date with the time. Next con, and this is a big one, they did not include data structures and algorithms within the curriculum. My issue with that is that Flatiron School is big on them being able to give you enough learning for you to be immediately job ready. I feel like if that was really the case, they would have put more of an emphasis on data structures and algorithms, because that is a huge factor in getting a job. That's what all the interviews are. I don't think Flatiron really prepared us in that way, and it really threw me for a loop when I entered the interviewing and it had nothing to do with what I learned. I mean, it had something to do with what I learned, but it was in a completely different field of what I was expecting. So I don't really think Flatiron really prepared me for interviewing. Last con is the price. Flatiron School is insanely expensive. My tuition came out to be about $15,000, so I think that was really expensive. Would I recommend Flatiron School? Flatiron School was great for me. I don't regret it. It did what it needed to do. I got a job, and that's that. So I'm grateful and I'm glad I did it. However, I do have to take into the fact that they no longer offer the money back guarantee and the income share agreement. And so if I never joined the boot camp and I was thinking to join it today, and I have the same amount of money that I have now as I had then, I wouldn't be able to afford Flatiron School. So I do have to consider that when I recommend the school. So if money is not an issue for you, I would recommend Flatiron School, because they do everything that they basically say that they're gonna do. You will have to do that data structures and algorithm studying on your own. I don't know if they've included data structures and algorithms in their curriculum as of recently, but if you don't mind the money, and if you understand that you're still gonna have to teach yourself a few things after graduating, I would recommend Flatiron School. But if money is an issue for you, which, I don't think the majority of people just have $16,000 ready to put into this school. So if you're in that situation, which is the same situation I was in, I would not recommend Flatiron School because they're simply too expensive. There are cheaper and free alternatives out there that you could definitely search up and find. So I hope, this video that I made 1 year after graduating really helps anyone who's looking for boot camp, looking into Flatiron School. I hope I didn't discourage anyone. I hope I didn't sell any false dreams to anyone. Again, don't take my word for it. Research it yourself. This is just my experience. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am a new channel, so your support means so much to me. Please show this video some love, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.